They told me for years there was no money in podcasting. Well, they were all wrong.
But I kind of want to shift to a little more of the history of baseball,
Sure.
specifically around scandals of baseball, because I don't know how good you are on your history, but the Black Sox scandal, obviously a huge scandal. I know a lot about it, but I don't think there's much to talk about there. But like the Pete Rose scandal, he bet on himself for gambling. Is Pete Rose a Hall of Famer?
I think I mean, statistics wise, yeah, but he bet on his own team. I think he's had a few opportunities to make it right, but for whatever reason, I guess the commissioners at the time or MLB didn't feel that he had apologized the way they wanted him to. I think he kind of had a few chances to really make it right. I'm not sure if he did, but I would love to see him go in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if it's going to happen in his lifetime. It's unfortunate. Yeah, that whole thing.
I mean, look, you got the Houston Astros where the whole team, the whole organization cheated, and they're all still in baseball. Alex Cora is a manager again. Altuve's putting up great numbers again. Springer's having a great season. Beltran's out of baseball. But if these guys can still be in baseball for literally cheating like that, but Pete Rose gets popped for betting on himself. Pete Rose is a degenerate gambler, but I think the Astros shouldn't be an organization anymore, and all those people should be expelled from baseball forever. What do you think of that whole scandal? Because don't get me wrong, a lot of teams do.
I think you hit on the head. A lot of teams were doing it. They just didn't get caught.
They got caught.
So, and I think they apologized about it, right? Where, I don't know, maybe they feel Pete Rose didn't really apologize or wasn't genuine about his gambling on his team.
I mean, Pete Rose has a history of being not a nice person. I mean, he literally ended a catcher's career in an all-star game when he just rushed the plate and took him out.
Ray Fosse, was that his name?
I have no idea. I just know the clip. But Pete Rose has a reputation for not being the nicest person in the world. And baseball writers don't forget that. Like you see this past voting turnout with Curt Schilling. Now, my personal opinion, Curt Schilling is a borderline Hall of Famer. But, he takes it personally because they think the writers just don't like him, which may or may not be true. But Curt Schilling, you're kind of also kind of a jerk.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was very outspoken and you have to, the writers are the people who are going to decide. So you have to build a good rapport with them. It's really, there is politics that comes into it. That's how it is. There's there's not one person deciding either. So,
and there's certain fans that don't like that the MLB writers vote. Who in your mind should vote? Because personally, the writers make sense. They cover baseball. They know baseball better than literally anybody. They know the heart and soul of baseball with all the stats, all the writing, all the stories, this, that, and the other. Who else would do it? Do you think it's the writers or should be someone else or a combo?
That's a good question. I think you need to have talent evaluators in there too. Former MLB players, former Hall of Famers. Well, they do have the Hall of Fame committee that votes people in. Current managers. Unfortunately, with the writers, they don't really. A lot of them know how to evaluate players past statistics. There's other things that come into it. So, I'd like to see. I'm into mixed triangulation. With my research, not just getting the opinion of the data or the coaches. Let's look at different things. Let's look at data. Let's get writers' opinions. Let's get former players' opinions and coaches and managers and things like that who really know the game best.
Yeah, no, I can't rebuke that. I cannot counter that. I think that definitely makes sense. A combo, but then you have too many cooks in the kitchen. Maybe is my only critique, but baseball. The baseball. If you get
this, what is it? 70%. You need?
70. I think it's 70%. And one thing I would change: the writers only have X amount of votes they can give towards players, which is silly to me. Just like if you have 10 votes you can give. I don't know what the actual numbers. Let's say it's 10. And if you want to vote for 11, someone's going to get screwed. So
Yeah.
that's silly to me. You should be able to vote for as many people as you want or you think deserve it. But then again, the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York, is the most prestigious Hall of Fame in all of sports. I think the Basketball Hall of Fame's in Ohio or Cleveland. I don't even know where the Football Hall
I
of
think
Fame
it's in
is.
Massachusetts.
Oh, the
in,
Football Hall of Fame's in Ohio then.
Canton. Yeah. Well, you haven't been to the Japanese Baseball Hall of Fame in the Tokyo Dome. It's pretty cool.
Well, I gotta go to Tokyo. I gotta go to
Yeah.
Tokyo Dome. God, I want to see Wrestle Kingdom in the Tokyo Dome. Don't get me wrong.
Wrestling is huge there. WWE and the Japanese league. I'm not sure of the name of it.
New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, have you been to the Hall of Fame? When's the last time you've been to the Hall of Fame?
Oh, probably 20, 25 years ago. I'd like to go back and I have a 6-year-old now who's getting into baseball, and my 3-year-old, they like it maybe when they get a little older, but and I think I'd enjoy it more as an adult now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely me too. Because as a kid, my parents took me 3 times. My dad's huge baseball fan. Baseball's huge in my family. So when I'm from Massachusetts, South Shore of Boston, diehard Yankee fan, by the way.
Really? How did that happen?
So my dad's from Jersey. My dad grew up in Summit, New Jersey, and baseball is his life. So my mom's from Quincy, Massachusetts. So when they met, they got married and moved up to Boston to be close to my mom's parents. So my dad brought up me and my brother as Yankee fans. So you can imagine how hard that was in 2004, being in 4th grade. But
yeah, I bet you had a lot of problems in school if you were.
Oh yeah, it was phenomenal. So that's where I wish fans did. I wish American fans didn't boo. Actually, you said Japanese fans don't boo the other team. I was like, oh my god, my people. So, but Cooperstown was really a relatively close drive. So we went 3 or 4 times as vacation during the summer. Last time I went, I was in high school. I brought 2 of my friends from high school. Probably I was 16, 17 years old. As an adult, I definitely want to go back because last time I was there, you go through the museum's great, but the actual hall with all the plaques, like being 16 years old, I'm there reading all these plaques because at that time I was also watching Ken Burns' baseball, the 11-part documentary series now. So I was just like, oh, like I know all of these players. I want to read their plaques. My friends were like, Will, let's get out of here.
That's hardcore. You could spend days in there.
Yeah. Yeah. So
the town's really cool too. I'd like to check out the town and the baseball shops. I actually got sorry, I don't have them. I want next time maybe if you have me on, I'll show you some of my Japanese baseball cards. I just got back into collecting cards again,